Hello and welcome to Overdose 11.
Woo-woo.
Jim, do an introduction for us, please.
Like Shank said, welcome everybody. Anybody who's been here with us since the beginning. We're now in the double digits, so obviously there's been 10 of these before this one. I would like to start off by introducing our special guest for tonight, EOP. He actually happened upon us last week while we were live by accident, and now we have him as a special guest this week, but we're glad he could make it and join us and kind of liven up the topics and the show itself.
It's a rock! Holla!
Yo, P, you know me.
And I kind of introduced out of order, but then myself, Jim from Jim's Nerd Nation. We got Sean Shank, the man, the myth, the legend. Of course, one of our regulars on Overdose. And then last but certainly not least, Tim Maloney, the Yellow Bus.
Okay, you guys know where we have to start today. Well, first let's start with EOP. Let's talk a little bit about myself, and then we jump into, of course, our Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh, they won?
No, they lost. So, EOP, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your channel?
What's up? It's EOP up in this bitch. You already know anime and manga reviews. If you don't know what the fuck that is, that's what Google is there for. Just type that shit in there and find out what it is. Manga, anime, you should know what it is. But I do reviews for those, news videos and fucking theory videos and all types of videos that pertain to anime and manga. Specifically One Piece and Attack on Titan, and then some other ones that I'll be picking up.
How long you been doing this?
I think like a year and a half, maybe, or 2 years. I don't even know anymore. I don't even fucking know.
So you're pretty avid on the YouTube community?
Yeah, I'm always there. The anime community, they have embraced me pretty well. They got used to my craziness and shit. So yeah, I'm pretty much active on there every day. I put some shit. I'm always coming up with some new shit, and my peoples know. That's it. Yeah, I'm always in there. Right now, I'm doing. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm going over. Let me see. I'm almost reaching 4,000 subscribers soon. Well, I got 3,872 people who follow me now. So yeah, by next month, hopefully I'll have 4,000. But yeah,
you got a nice channel too, man. Just what I was able to take a look at last week and everything. It's just a really fun, unique approach. You know, I mean, there's plenty of guys out there that are doing things similar to that, but you certainly bring a nice, unique spin to it. I think, man, and a certain level of style. You know, it's at least from what I've seen so far. So
what you call swag, boy.
Been doing it for about a year and a half, you said?
Yeah, roughly. I think so. I lost track of time because I don't really pay attention to the time that I'm doing it. I just do it pretty much, you know. Sometimes I don't even pay attention to how many subscribers. I just do my shit and have fun. As long as you like what you're doing, you're good, you know.
That's the name of the game, you know. Now, where are you located out of? Are you East Coast? Are you Central? Where are you at?
East Coast, New Jersey.
Oh, okay, Jersey guy. Nice.
Yeah, but I'm not from New Jersey. I lived in Jersey. I'm from Brooklyn.
There we go. Are you a Nets fan?
The guy's like, oh, that's why he's like that. Nah, I don't really care for sports like that. To tell you the truth.
Okay.
I'm a fucking I'm what you call anime manga geek. You know.
There you go.
I mean, we all come in different shapes and sizes, you know, and that's just the way I come. Yo, I see my fanboy, Zoro fanboy 124. Yo, EOP, what's good? What's good, my people? He's a good reviewer. He reviews also. I'm reading the comment section just in case you guys don't know.
No, that's cool.
Oh, okay.
So you got some of my people here watching.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, it's good to have you here.
Yeah.
Well, we hate to get you off of something that you don't really talk about, but we have to talk about it. Blackhawks winning that Stanley Cup yesterday, scoring what, 2 goals in 17 seconds to come back and win Game 6 and knock stupid fucking Boston back home in their home. How awful was that for them? I'd hate to be a fucking Bruins fan. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know. Truth be told, I've never been a real big hockey fan. But the thing about me is that jump on the bandwagon when my team starts winning. You know, I follow them enough to know if they're winning or they're losing. You know, and I'll follow a little bit if they get into the playoffs, and you know, but. I mean, for the most part, I think that, yeah, coming down from, you know, they won the first game in the triple overtime, played almost 2 full games to win that one, and then they lost 2 in a row. And you know who all the bandwagon jumpers and the fair weather fans are, because you see them on Facebook and Twitter and everything like that talking about how bad the Blackhawks are and how could they screw it up and this and that, you know. They got to win the next game, you know, and then they go and they win 3 in a row. So, I mean, what are you going to do?
The Blackhawks is a one-piece team. I mean, a hockey team.
I don't know. You invest in them?
Not a hockey team. They're hockey. You're talking about hockey, right?
Yeah, it's a hockey team.
I think I'm too Hispanic to talk about hockey, but definitely the hockey. I want to get into it, man, because hockey that shit look brutal as fuck. And I kind of think I know that they let them fight for a couple minutes, right, before they break it up.
Yeah, they let them go, man. It's a brutal sport, man.
Well, I just want to say,
go ahead, Tim.
What, you know, you think you had a bad day, but there's a post that I saw on Facebook too where I got rid of cable, so I had to gamecast that shit and like look at the highlights afterwards. Plus, you know, I'm not too into hockey, but you know, one of the players had 2 broken ribs, one had a torn labrum, a few stitches, one had broken wrist. I mean,
that's some crazy shit.
The guy that scored, the guy that's like, you know, saving it for all of them.
Fight.
I know, right?
Yeah,
like,
I like seeing this, and then the people who watch it, they get crazy as fuck too.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're making moves right there.
Dane, I think.
Real quick, I just want to say what's up to everyone who's commenting. What's up? I'm not gonna say everyone's name. I just want to say what's up. So, back to whoever's saying it.
But
yeah,
I was just going into how, like, you know, other sports people get injured or whatever, but I mean, these guys are doing these crazy ass things and they have broken everything. So
yeah, I see that shit. They're tough as fuck, yo. And then the sport is on top of ice, so that's fucking crazy already.
Yeah, that's one thing I can tell you, man, because anybody who's ever slipped and fallen on ice and not even going 20 miles an hour on skates, you know what I mean? That shit hurts, you know?
Or if you bump into someone, you kick them on accident and you fucking slit their throat. Like, I've seen, there's 2 instances where a goalie's got his, like, throat slit open. You can YouTube it, but there's, like, they had one in, like, I think the early 90s, and they, like, you know, this is just coming into media right here. This is a complete tangent, but it happened in the 90s. This goalie's throat got slit by the blade, and they instantly cut it out because that's just how they were in the 90s. Now it's like all media crazy. And there was one that happened like I think 4 or 5 years ago. Same thing happened, but like the cameras didn't just shut off. They were like, oh, look at all the blood on the ice, and like it's completely different age.
The guy got his throat slit.
Yeah, it's happened twice during an active professional hockey game where
it didn't cut his jugular where he died, but I mean he. He was in some pretty bad shape, you know.
Oh man, it was bad. But yeah, go Hawks, man. Fuck it, bandwagon or not, represent your city.
Oh, exactly. And I mean, if you EOP, I mean, the fact is, if you watch hockey on TV, it's nothing. If you go to a game, that's how you get into a fucking hockey. You interact with the other fans. You see, you know, how fucking into it they are. And I'm sure you've been to, you know, regular sports games, you know, regardless of what it is. But at hockey, man, I mean, if you're ever going to get in that kind of hockey, just go to a game. You know, anything local. It doesn't even have to be professional because we have a kind of semi-professional team out here, Chicago Wolves, and I've been to a bunch of their games.
Dude, they're badass.
Games are fun,
I've been to baseball games, basketball games. I'm scared to go to a fucking hockey game. Y'all motherfuckers are scary as fuck. I see dudes that go to this shit, they look scary as fuck, like they want to fight with someone.
Yeah, especially
it's not like a real game, though, man. It's not that bad.
Especially come playoff time, man.
Mohawks and shit, and fucking fat and big ass motherfucker, like huge dudes, like you look like Vikings up in that bitch. Hockey is good for everyone. You go to game, bro?
There you go.
Yeah, some people get a little bit crazy with it. I mean, I'm just happy to see a winning professional team in Chicago, you know, which is nice because it's a fairly big market out here, you know. But you know, Bulls I still think are probably a few years away from winning one. You know, they still got to put a couple more pieces in play, I think, and you know, the Cubs and the Sox, I don't know what they're going to do when, you know. So and the Bears, I mean, you're hopeful every year, but so it's nice to see, you know, a Chicago team bringing home bringing home the championship. So.
Absolutely. I mean, on the subject of sports, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, Miami won last week. They two-peated. Barely. They squealed by. You guys see them three-peating?
Oh,
I
maybe.
did not see it. But
I hope not, personally. But that's just because I've never liked the I never liked the teams, man. The store-bought teams. You know what I mean? One Piece. You say you're from Brooklyn. I don't know if you're a Yankees fan. And the Yankees, you either love them or you hate them, and I've always hated them only because, and not because they were a good team, you know, and trying to hate on the guys there at the top. It's because most of the teams that I saw growing up with the Yankees, they were store-bought teams, man. They just took as much money as they could and threw it at the best players they could, and half the time the players didn't even like each other, you know. I mean, and I don't know. I mean, to me, that's just buying yourself a championship, and I think that's what Miami did. You know, they put a few guys together and bought themselves a championship. You know, so that's just my opinion. You know, it's not.
They trade Bosch, man. Bosch fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah, but who the hell wants Bosch's contract? It's like fucking Boozer's contract. Nobody wants fucking Carlos Boozer's contract either. I mean, those are fucking two overpaid individuals. The fact is that, you know, Miami just squeezed by an old, outdated San Antonio team.
Well, wasn't it the Heat? Wasn't the Heat the team that everyone thought they weren't going to win, and then the people who walked out of the fucking game, like right before it, and then they wanted to go back in, but
they wouldn't let them back in, and then they had to watch on the outside when everyone was cheering and shit. Yeah,
yep.
They had to watch it by the bar TV.
Yeah, and that was when Chris Bosh came out and told them fuckers to stay home for Game 7.
Oh yeah, that was during Game 6 or when they were losing all game. Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, that was fucking dirty, dude.
That was last Tuesday. That's when we were talking about it during Overdose, because they looked like they were going to lose, and it was kind of like the Blackhawks. I mean, they came back, and they shouldn't have came back, and they ended up pulling it out. I mean,
well, the referees helped them in overtime too, I think, a little bit, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. But you know, that's neither here nor there. I mean, good calls, bad calls, whatever. You know.
I just think there's too many young, up and coming teams, you know, that are better. I mean, I think LeBron's a great player, and you know, I think they're a good team. But I mean, you got Dwayne Wade, who had to have his knee drained right before Game 7, and I mean, the Bulls even put a beating on the Heat without even our superstar, and then they took a beating in the next round from Indiana. They took a beating by an old-ass San Antonio team. I mean, this is supposed to be your super team. I mean, they didn't look like a super team to me.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Yeah, they went to 7 games against San Antonio, and I mean, I'm glad because you want it to be competitive, you know. But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Heat or LeBron, but that's just me personally. So, you know.
I'm reading the comments. Yo, anime community taking over.
Well, so if we're gonna have people that are commenting right now, I mean, One Piece. I mean, shit. I'm kind of a manga noob. My brother's into that stuff, but I remember like Ranma 1/2, like Trigun, like all that like trendy American shit. That was fun, but like what kind of shit are you into right now? Like what has inspired you to do it?
One Piece definitely.
Into it?
My name, everything One Piece is the one that I do mostly, and it's like one of my favorite ones from all of them. One Piece is, if you haven't heard of it, you should. It's fucking right now. I think it's one of the best. Attack on Titan is some other stuff that I read, and then I read some of the stuff back there. Toriko, Bleach. I like Trigun, like you. Trigun's like a classic, you know. Although it ended, but it's still good. Dragon Ball Z, everyone knows what the fuck that is, right?
Yeah. Have you ever written your own or tried to? Do you like draw? I know Jim's into drawing.
I drew a little bit, not a lot though. Like I tried drawing at some point, but I'm not like up to like the standard that I would love myself to be at. I have written though. I've written a couple stories and I try putting them out there every now and then, but then I just like gave up. I don't know why. Maybe I should fucking put them out there again.
There's a lot of work that goes into it, you know, because I used to, well, I mean, I still do draw, but at one point I wanted to, you know, write and pencil my own comic book, and it just, there's a lot that goes into it, man.
Yeah.
You know? It's not like just putting together one piece or something, you know. I mean, there's a lot that goes in. Now, One Piece, that's an ongoing, is that a monthly series that is? Is that just comic book? They got movies?
Listen, I think that One Piece might be the longest running anime right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
It's about 712 chapters, 12 coming up tomorrow, and it's still going every week. And
it's a weekly?
Weekly.
Oh shit, I see that. 713, yeah.
602 episodes right now, and he's only halfway done with the show.
Oh,
the writer. It's been going on for more than 15 years. Longest running, I think, I might be mistaken, but I think it's definitely one of the longest running, and the storyline is amazing. For you to catch up would be almost, you would have to last maybe a year just to catch up.
I was going to say, yeah, at this point. You know, and the only reason I was asking is because I used to be into, well, I wouldn't say into, probably not, I had a couple of friends that had gotten me into watching some of the older stuff that they had, you know, Ghost in the Shell and Ninja Scroll and, you know, a couple of the anime, the actual movies, and I mean, I never had anything against them. I mean, there was a couple of them that I rented that were a little bit strange, you know, but I mean, you're going to come across that, you know, sometimes it just doesn't translate very well or what have you, you know, but that's nice. So that's a weekly series that comes out, huh?
It's weekly, yeah. Weekly shit. This guy doesn't even fucking rest. The creator of One Piece, dude only sleeps 3 hours a night.
Holy fuck. Now
Sounds like South Park on steroids, dude.
Yeah, I was going to say, now he does everything himself?
I don't know if he does everything himself, but I think he plays a major part in the things, in what happens. He was in the hospital like a couple weeks ago, and he actually went on and continued to draw a chapter of One Piece for all his fans, and he released it from the hospital. So he's a very dedicated guy. It's one of those guys that are dedicated to the end, and that's what makes it such a great series.
And now the series, if you don't mind me asking too, and forgive me because I don't know anything about it. When you say a chapter every week, I mean we're talking like a 22, 24 page, like a straight. Because I used to collect a lot of comic books, and that was a standard comic book. It was about 20, 25 pages.
Right. It's about 22 pages. 22
okay,
pages.
so he's doing. Wow, that's man.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
I don't care how many people you got working on that. That is tough putting out a weekly product like that. You know what I mean? And then keeping the quality up too.
And it's not like seasons. It's seasons, but it's not like he stops. It's all year round.
Yeah, no, it goes all. There's 50 or 52 chapters a year, right? Oh man.
Yeah, it goes every week, and every now and then he'll get sick or something, and that's pretty much the only reason he stops for sick like that.
And now, because I know a lot of people say I haven't collected comics in years. Now, do you have everything delivered to you? Do you read it digitally now, like on an e-reader, or do you still pick your stuff up from the comic book store every week, or do you have your issues delivered to you, or what? I'm an old school guy. I like having, you know, the actual man. I like putting a CD in the CD player. I like having a book in front of me.
Right. I some of them I pick up on on manga paper, and then some of them I read. The problem is that, like, for some of the newer shit that's coming out, you can't get it on paperback yet because it's not translated in English.
Oh, okay.
So it'll usually come out, like, the most recent chapters of One Piece won't come out until, like, maybe 2 months after translated or 3 months after translated. It takes a while, you know. They gotta
just learn Japanese, man.
I wish, man.
That's what my brother did. My brother did this. My brother in high school took French, right? And he almost failed. He was like, I fucking hate like the school system way. So he went online and he taught himself Japanese, and he started, you know, getting into manga and all that shit and anime and, you know, the comic conventions and all. And what is it, ASIN or something? And so he just taught himself. So like he just buys all the Japanese shit. It's crazy.
Yeah. Have you guys watched the cartoon and didn't realize it was an anime? Oh, that's a good question. Somebody asked you guys that. Have you ever watched, basically he's trying to say, have you ever watched the cartoon and didn't realize it was an anime until like later on or something?
Like a comic itself?
Like an actual cartoon. So like some type of animation. Not notice. How would they not notice it was anime?
I mean it's pretty obvious.
The big eyes, the big tits, all that shit.
That's funny.
I thought it was porn once, and I realized it was anime.
So I say, yo, get these grown men into One Piece. One Piece is the shit. Yeah, definitely you should check it out though if you have the time. But if you are gonna check it out, make sure that you have time because it's gonna take you a long time. But you know what I tell people always, you're gonna check out One Piece. Read it from the beginning. Don't skip anything, and fuck everything else. Don't matter if 700 chapters ahead. Don't rush it. Just read it slow. Doesn't really matter. It's more.
That's why I'm asking a lot of the questions about this, because I've actually been looking for a new book to get into, and there's obviously a lot of material there.
Yeah,
so I mean, and I don't care. I mean, I got 3 kids, so I don't get out as much as I like to anymore. So a lot of the hobbies and activities that I do revolve around being able to do something at home at night and read something. The trade paperbacks that you can get if I were to go back to the beginning, are we talking like 10, maybe 15 issues in a trade paperback, or
each volume? How many?
Yeah, each volume. Yeah, what are we talking about? Is a volume cover a whole year, or does it?
No.
I wouldn't think so. That'd be crazy big.
That's like, I think it's like 5 or 6 or 7, something like that.
Okay.
There's
you might be able to find compendiums like.
It's about 46 volumes right now, or 47.
46 volumes already. Okay.
I think so. I could be mistaken though, but they're all in Barnes and Noble though.
It could be like The Walking Dead, where I got the first 50 comics in one compendium. Might have it like,
you could get like those big. Yeah, they have those like that.
Yeah, I have that for Walking Dead. I got like 2 that are.
One Piece has like the 3 volumes in one. I think I've seen those. I don't like those personally because I don't like the way they look. Like when you shelf them.
Yeah.
I like to see them each individually together because I think they look cool like that. But
that's what I always like to do, man. When I used to collect books, I never liked picking up those big ones, and especially too. Then once you read through them, you can't. No matter how much you bend that spine outwards, you still can't get the full page, you know, and you still can't see the all the artwork and everything like that. So, and sometimes when you get the bigger trade paperbacks, they go and they try to give them to you a little bit cheaper, but then they put them in black and white. You know, and it's like, man, I want all the original artwork, you know.
Yeah, that's how Walking Dead was. I just wanted the 2 big ones just to catch up. But yeah, it's in black and white, so it kind of sucks. You're kind of like, fuck, dude.
I haven't read The Walking Dead. I want to read it. The only thing I did was I watched it, and then I started reading a little bit of the future episodes on the future chapters. But I haven't read it from the beginning, and I know there's a lot of differences from the show and the actual comic.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I've only seen the show, but I've heard Tim has read. Tim, you've read all of them, even the side books, right, about the governor and all that.
I really like the 2 side books that completely. I mean, if you read it, you know all about the governor. So like, you'd view the 3rd season way differently than if you just watched it like cold turkey. You know, you guys. I don't want to spoil it, but you don't know the background of the governor. You're just kind of like, dude, this guy's an asshole. Then you realize, like, after reading those 2 books, like, this kid, ever since the change, like, is completely transformed, and he's like a split personality disorder. So that's why he's acting like he is.
Well, I don't know why I fucked up. I said 46 chapters. There's actually 70 chapters.
70
volumes. 70 volumes.
70 volumes. Okay, yeah. So you're probably looking at about 8 or maybe
someone on the chat
each one.
I don't know why I said 46. I think I'm thinking about something else, some other. Yeah. Why am I thinking 46 so little? I'm thinking about. I think I might be thinking of something else, like maybe Tarico or something. I don't even know what the fuck I'm thinking. It's 70. I remember because I remember 70 volume 68 coming out, and I was happy with that. So, but 70 volumes. That's a lot of shit.
That's a whole lot of shit.
Yeah, that's definitely a lot of material, especially when you're looking at probably a couple hundred pages in each one. So.
Zoro Fanboy 124 sats here. He's a good reviewer too. For One Piece, there's 3-in-1s for like the first 15 volumes. It is much cheaper. It's cheaper. If you wanna if you don't care about individual volumes, then it's probably better for you to get that if you don't want to spend too much money.
It's as good as you say it is, man. I don't, it's one of those things where I'm not going to pick up all 70 of them at once anyway. I'll pick up 3 or 4 at a time and go through them, over the course of probably a year. So it's not really going to. The price difference, I mean, even if it's half the price buying it in the bigger ones, if I enjoy it after the first couple, I'd rather have the the individual volumes anyway.
One Piece, it's full of comedy, drama, mystery, what I like to call mystery, action. It's so fucking mind-boggling at sometimes. This writer is amazing, I swear. I respect the writer. It's one of the first things I ever respected the writer for. It's crazy.
Does it follow? Give us a little background on it. Does it follow one character, a group of characters? The evolution
it starts with one character, right? And basically, he has a goal. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I'll say he has a goal, and he's a pirate. I'll tell you that. And
is he a virgin?
He is a virgin.
There you go. It's a coming-of-age tale.
I still haven't seen him fuck any of the girls on One Piece, so I'm assuming he's a virgin. He was young when he started, 17. So he travels around the world trying to become the king of pirates, and along his travels, he gathers a crew, little by little. And that's basically what it is, just traveling. And then it sounds very simple, but it's complex at the same time because there's so much happening with the world government. And tell you the truth, at times, there are things that happen on there that are like real life situations. There are even certain things there that you can compare to the slavery and racism that we had in our time. And there's things in there that have to do with what our government does now. There's so much things that you can relate to real life. And it sounds weird to say that about an animated series, but honestly, it really is what it is.
Well, you know what, though? I think those are the most successful series, whether it be anime or whether it be, you know, a TV show or whatever, things that can pull from different emotions and different backgrounds and things like that, that actually, you know, so you can make those comparisons to real life. Now, does this take place in a fictional world? Or
Fictional world.
To be? Okay, fictional world. I mean, are we talking, though, timeline, or which you said pirate? Are we talking more of like a past, like, you know, 1300s, something like that? Or are we talking, is it more futuristic?
No, it's not futuristic, but it's
Somali.
Okay.
It's strange. It's strange in that way that it takes place like the old school time.
So it kind of has that classic feel to it.
Yeah, but there's certain things that you're like, yo, what the fuck? You see a cyborg out of nowhere. Shit like that.
That's cool, man. I like that.
So it's a combination of both without overdoing it. It's still, they still keep that old school feel to it, but there'll be some technology there that you'll be like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? And you get what I'm saying? Then there's shit like that, but it's mostly based like in that pirate era, like, you know, what we had here, like what we had when we had pirates, you know, that time where all the fucking scurvy existed, all that shit. You get what I'm saying?
That's I gotta tell you, man. Just from hearing you talk about it, I'm more than a little bit. I have more than a passing interest in definitely checking it out, and I mean like in the immediate future, you know, checking it out, because I've been looking for something to kind of dive into as a little side project. I like to read a lot, and then of course just being an artist myself, you know, I just of course just love the art. You know what I mean? So anything that has to do that has the visual too, that's not just the words, you know, is really cool to me. It's right up my alley. So.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, I've never really gotten into anime, but you know, I'm very open-minded, willing to listen, and you know, experience different things. You know, you didn't try pizza for the first time. You didn't like that shit on first. You know, first time I tried beer, I didn't like it. Now it's one of my favorite things in life. So
now it's my livelihood.
Now it's what I got flowing through my veins.
It's all like, well, now we're talking about anime. I mean, what kind of were your guys' favorite cartoons when growing up? You know, I know we're, you know, all pretty vary in age difference, so.
Yeah, they also asked what their ages are, and I said 25 to 40. Dude, no homo, man. I fucking love Pokemon. Dragon Ball Z was bitching, and then I realized Dragon Ball Z, the reason why there's always those awkward moments was due to the fact that there's a lot more tits and sex and swearing, and they dubbed it all out, and they're just like standing and pausing and stuff like that. I love that.
Isn't Naruto another one of those that's that the original? I've never really watched either one or followed either one, but isn't that another one of them that like the original Japanese versions or something like that are a little bit darker and twisted?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, Pokemon's a lot darker on the Japanese version. I don't really watch it or read it, but from what I hear, from what people tell me, a lot of people tell me stuff about anime and manga, and that's how I learned a lot of new stuff. The Pokemon is a lot darker. There's a lot more going on. There's a guy who reviews Pokemon specifically Pokemon, and he tells me that it's a lot darker. There's more like, there's like, the Pokemon's fucking killed himself. It's like they sliced himself in half. He was telling me some shit like that. Now he may be making this shit up, but he was fucking convincing to me. So it might be real, and I believe it. Maybe it's to some point because Japanese people, they might do shit a little crazier. You know?
Yeah, some of the things that I've seen are a little off the wall, man. I mean, some of the some of the movies that I used to rent when video stores were still around everywhere, you know, 10, 15 years ago. There was some anime. There was some anime that I saw. I had a buddy that was really into it, so we'd go a lot of times if we were hanging out, you know, on for an evening, we'd go, you know, pick up 2, 3 movies, you know, and just because it looked cool on the cover. And man, there was some twisted shit that we saw. You know, I mean, some of it was really cool, but some of it I was just like.
You gotta know what you pick up, because then you might accidentally pick up something where a little fucking schoolgirl is getting raped by an alien. or some type of fucking robotic demon.
Dude, like, what was it?
I don't
Fucking like
really wanna see
Ranma. Ranma's like what, a girl like turns into a panda? Like, come on.
You see, you have virgin minds to manga and anime, so yeah, be careful what you watch, because your minds might be like, what the fuck is going on?
Now, what's the actual difference between manga and anime? Is it
Well,
just, I mean, what's the
manga
style difference?
No. It's two different things. I should have probably explained to you what it was before I kept fucking spitting the word out. Manga is actually a paperback chapter written, like the chapters what you would call
it's like a comic.
books.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's in written form.
Anime is a TV series, right?
Anime is animated.
Is animated. Okay, I gotcha. So it's the same basic premise. One's just in drawn and written. The other one is actually.
Let me show you this.
Is actually animated.
Show you a little bit about All right, let me show you something from a manga. All right, now, typical Japanese manga. This is Attack on Titan Volume 4. Yeah. So this, normally a comic book you read this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you read this one like that. The opposite of how you would read a American comic book or book.
So even though it's translated, you're still reading it.
You still
back
read
to
it the
front,
way that
right to left.
Yes, you read it like that.
Okay.
Like that, and then
Respect.
you read it. You read instead of reading from here to here, like from here to here, you read from here and then go this way.
So okay, so you're reading it, from right to left. Okay, I gotcha.
The reason why, even though it's translated, is the original artwork is meant to be that way. So they want to keep the original feel of the Japanese mangaka.
Yeah, and the
Mangaka
flow from panel to panel and everything like that.
Right,
Yeah.
the mangaka is the actual artist of this. So they want to keep the feel of it. So you get what I'm saying? So they keep it that way. And I like that. They're all like that.
That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, see, I never know it because I never actually I've seen anime, but I've never actually read any manga.
Right, so if you read this, if you read One Piece, for instance, then that would probably be something good for you to know before you start reading the shit backwards.
Fuck! Spoiler alert!
I'm sure I'd figure it out pretty quickly,
Well,
but
some of them, Attack on Titan doesn't really care that much. They don't really put it out here, I think. But some of them, like Toriko, some other stuff that I read, it kind of, the page will tell you, stop, you're reading the wrong way. The back page, and it'll tell you exactly how you should read it and how you should go from panel to panel. And I think that's pretty cool.
that's definitely neat.
So Sean, what about you, man? You didn't say anything about cartoon yet.
I remember when I used to watch this. I used to love fucking Thundercats, man. Thundercats are like fucking He-Man. You know, I'm a little bit older.
I watch
older than
He-Man.
the rest of you guys. I know that, but I remember like in the morning, man, it'd be like, well, I mean, even older than that, man, you'd fucking like Woody Woodpecker and shit like that. But I remember like the shit that I liked was He-Man was the shit when it came out, and the Thundercats was the shit. It was like really
Thundercats
different.
is out again. They revamped it, you know.
Yeah. I heard that, yeah.
They relaunched it. It actually wasn't bad too.
It's on Toonami right now, which is on Cartoon Network, where Adult Swim, and One Piece is on there as well.
Oh, One Piece is on there?
Yeah, they give it at midnight.
Oh, okay.
I think they give it at midnight or 1. I'm not sure what time.
That's cool.
I don't really watch those because I've already seen it.
Yeah, I was a Thundercats guy too. Yeah, Sean, you and I aren't that
Fucking
much
Snarf's
difference
the
in
man,
age, four or 5 years difference. But yeah, I mean, I remember Saturday and Sunday morning, cartoons. But He-Man, Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I used to watch those things.
I used to, and I mean, now I'll still go back and watch some of the old Transformers from the '80s. I was real
Dude,
cool.
that is still the
Thundercats was
best
cool,
animated show ever. 1987 Transformers, dude.
Yeah.
I used to love that shit too.
It's good stuff, man. I used to. Watch
I used to like Thundercats back then, though.
Yeah, Thundercats was cool, man. When I was a kid,
Well, because it was so different than watching fucking Bugs Bunny or fucking Woody Woodpecker. It was something that was totally different. It was like 10 minutes short.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to watch. It's gonna sound, I don't care how many people laugh at that shit. I used to watch Power Rangers, the first one. Remember Power Rangers, the first one?
I love that shit.
That was my shit, yo. I'm sorry, the first one with fucking what was his name? Tommy and fucking.
The Pink Ranger was
They're like
hot,
the most racist thing ever. They're like, let's make the Pink Ranger a blonde. Let's make the yellow an Asian.
The yellow Ranger.
The black one's a black one.
The pink was like the bimbo.
The most powerful is like the good-looking white guy. Like, what the fuck?
You know what's funny is I'm the oldest of 6 kids, so my 2 younger brothers used to watch that, you know, and I was already in high school at the time, so it didn't really interest me. But a lot of times I get stuck babysitting or watching them, and they'd want to watch Power Rangers, you know. And I liked the chick that was on there, the pink one, the Pink Ranger or whatever, you know, because I don't know, she was probably when she was on there a teenager, and I thought she was pretty nice looking.
And then she would always be doing like the flexy shit, like
I fap to that.
Put her leg up to her fucking shoulder, be like, "Look at my twat! Look, I'm a Power Ranger. Look at my twat."
My skin tight pink suit.
Somebody said my favorite cartoon was Captain Planet. I loved Captain Planet. Yo, with all the powers together, you can make fucking Captain Planet. That was fucking cool.
Captain Planet was good. Captain Planet, though, was pretty short-lived, wasn't it? I don't think there was a ton of episodes of that, because I remember going back and looking for that later on. And I thought they only did that for maybe like a season or 2 or something. I don't think there was a ton of it, or maybe that's a different one I'm thinking of. But
no, I don't know. I used to watch when I was young, but Captain Planet, the only bad thing is that his haircut. You got a mullet going on.
Yeah, well, that was fashionable back then.
I was gonna say, back in the '80s, a mullet was cool, man.
I was gonna say that was alright.
Right now, they can't do a Captain Planet movie because it would look like Joe Dirt. Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
It'd be like a bad Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
As if Flash Gordon wasn't already cheesy enough. Did anybody ever watch Voltron? Voltron was another one.
Oh, you know what? Voltron was awesome too, man.
Voltron was cool, man.
Well, wasn't Voltron like a cheap version of Transformers?
Voltron, yeah, there was like 5 or 6 of them, and the people. It was kind of like Power Rangers, where the people would go into an actual robot, and they were like Panthers or something like that, and then they would all form together to make a big robot, you know, with a sword, Voltron. You know?
Yeah, that shit was awesome.
So I remember
I
liked
it, but I know what it is. So.
Yeah, I did. A couple buddies of mine watched that. I couldn't really. I mean, I watched a couple of them, but you know, I really couldn't get into Voltron.
And then after school, I remember coming home all the time. He-Man was on, you know, Masters of the Universe. But then after that, there was like your throwaway ones, like Inspector Gadget, Heathcliff, ones that were okay, you know. If you saw them, you saw them, but you didn't really care if you missed them, you know. But sometimes they were entertaining, you know. I don't know if Sean probably remembers some of those. So.
Somebody wrote here, Power Rangers in space was the shit. Hey, dude, whoever wrote that, I'm not gonna say your name, but. That sounds like that's really recent, bro.
I was looking, I'm like,
that sounds like that's fucking recent. You better be careful while you watch it.
Power Rangers has had so many different iterations over the last maybe 20 years or something, man. I mean, I got a 12-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 1.5-year-old now, and the 6-year-old watches Power Rangers. Maybe it's like Ninja Assassins or some shit like that, or Ninja. It's something with ninjas, man. And,
Ninja Assassins.
I don't know what it is, but I know they got swords, you know, and then they go and their master is like this old Mr. Miyagi looking guy, you know, telling them, oh, they got to be one with their chi and shit, and, you know, have their patience and their inner being and all that. And then there was another one with dinosaurs, man, Dino Thunder or something like that.
They overdid it, man. They're juicing the shit out of it. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, hey, if they're doing it, they're still making money, you know. So
that's what happens. So I hate when they do that. For some reason, I feel like Power Rangers at first was like Japanese or some shit like that.
Yeah, it probably was, you know.
Because at the beginning,
you probably ripped it off real quick.
It's like the first seasons with Rita. Remember Rita, the evil one?
Yeah.
She's a bitch, dude. She was like the wicked witch of the Power Rangers.
But go back and look. Every time she talked, her voice, her mouth didn't match with the voice. It looked like it was a voiceover, though. It was
like a Godzilla movie from the 80s.
I'm serious. You know? I think originally she was speaking a different language. I swear. She's like,
yo.
I'm gonna kill you guys.
So, okay, your podcast guys. This is for the commentators too. What was the name of the dude in the tube that was like the boss of all the Power Rangers?
Oh, Zordon.
Oh yeah, that was Zordon, wasn't it?
You should have just fucking asked me. I told you, I love that shit.
I had to look that up. I'm like, who the fuck was that again? I look it up. It's like Zordon, and then I remember he died in the movie, dude. He died in the movie.
Yeah, he died in the movie. He's like, I'm gonna die now. There'd be people like, where the fuck are we gonna find a casket for this big ass head?
I can't believe that shit's still on, man, and they're still.
Nah, they fucked it up, man, so much. They fucked.
Oh,
it
well,
up.
no, I agree with that.
The
But I
same
can't
thing with
believe that
I
they
think
still
they
have
did
a
the same
version
thing.
of it on even at this point, because it had to be. It's got to be 20 years old now, right? Something like that, close to.
They got Power
It's like The
Rangers
Simpsons, dude.
Power Rangers Ninja Assassin.
Fucking let that shit die.
No, it's not like The Simpsons. I wouldn't compare it to The Simpsons. The problem is The Simpsons long running with adaptation to the future without changing the actual storyline, right? Now, what I mean by that is like The Simpsons, they keep like modernizing. You know,
they keep it fresh and they keep it with the
make
times,
sure that
so.
they're up to date with what's going on. Like fucking Homer Simpson got a cell phone. I saw it the other day. He's got like fucking iPhone and shit.
He's getting like tweeted and shit.
I was looking at
He's
it.
on his Twitter.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? He has an iPhone now? He's like, oh, let me call Marge and shit like that. But Power Rangers, they've just been readapting and changing it, and they went through Power Rangers, Marshmallow Bits, whatever the fuck, Power Rangers in Space, Power Ranger Robot Edition, Dinosaur Edition, fucking Snake Edition, fucking Ninja Assassin.
Transformers, man. Transformers, then all of a sudden, like, they made, like, the Beast Wars, and then there's, like, a double Beast Wars.
Transformers has unfortunately had a lot more misses than it's had hits. You know, the Generation 1 in the 80s was great. The movie that came out, you know, to accompany that was great. And then
The movie was cool. The first movie?
Yeah, it absolutely was. And then they went and they did the Beast Wars, which I was never really into.
Yeah,
and
me
that
either.
was late 80s, early 90s, you know. And I mean, I don't think it was bad per se. I just never really got into it myself, you know. But I think it was just one of those, you know, it was a shameless plug to sell toys, is what it was, you know.
It's just
And
like
then
Call of Duty.
my 12-year-old, about 6, 7 years ago now, he was probably about 5. He got into. I still had some of my original. I had a box with some of my original Transformers in it, and we started watching some of the old cartoons. And at that time, Cartoon Network put out a show called Transformers Cybertron, or War for Cybertron, and it was partially computer animated and partially like a cartoon, like a hand-drawn cartoon.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
And it actually wasn't bad. I mean, it was pretty cool. There was a whole, I think it was like 50 or 52 episodes, you know, for this season or two that they put out for it, and it was actually really good. They came out with a bunch of toys for it, and the toys were a lot harder this time around to transform than they were when I was a kid, or at least it seemed like that. And I mean, they probably got a couple grand of my money because, you know, my son was into it, and so was my youngest sister at the time, and we watched it. But since then, they've done a couple of reboots and different shows, and I haven't really. Yeah, a lot of them have been just real.
I'm sorry. I think
Pokemon.
You know? Pokemon. I think I feel like Pokemon. They keep fucking redoing it. It's like I don't even know what's going on now. The other day I saw something like with Pokemon. I was like, what the fuck? It's like Ash is like a fucking half robot.
I'm not sure what they've done with that.
151. They gotta end that.
My wife and my son, they play the games on the Nintendo DS.
The
Pokemon games. Yeah, the games. Yeah, and I mean, I've never gotten into them, but I've watched them play them a little bit.
The games are fucking hot.
Yeah, and they people get into that shit, you know.
Yo,
so.
I gotta admit, the Pokemon games are good games. Like for the little handhelds, those are fucking fun games to play.
They have it on your phone now for the original ones. You can play on your cell phone the first 152. Like
was it with the blue and red, Pokemon Blue and Red or whatever, the first two that came on the Game Boy back in the day?
Yeah, I stopped there.
I never started, so. I worked as a manager at GameStop years ago. Before it was GameStop, it was still Funko Land at the time, and before they had merged or gotten bought out and became GameStop or whatever. So, and that's when the Pokemon craze was starting as far as the games, you know. And I remember, you know, kids, adults, everybody lining up around the block around Christmas time to get Pokemon Red and Blue, which I believe were the first two, if I remember right, for the Game Boy, you know. So I remember that shit was popular, man. Got to catch them all, you know. And it was just something I never got into. I was probably already in my early 20s at the time, and I just never got into it myself, you know. So.
Before you get into One Piece, right? I want to invite any one of you guys onto my channel on the live stream where I do a segment called "Clueless About One Piece."
Well, that would pretty much be any of us, including Surf.
You all qualify. You all qualify. Please don't search anything online for it yet until you go on my channel and do it live stream, and it'll be good for you guys too. You promote your own channel as well. But you go on there and we'll do it like next week whenever you guys can or however. And I just ask a couple questions. I just did the first episode. People liked it. I'll ask a couple questions about it and see what your honest opinion is based on the questions I'm asking you. If you're down for that, just let me know.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. It sounds good. I would definitely like to do that as a prelude before I get, before I actually go out and get a couple of books and start getting into it. So.
Is it on a certain day? What day is that?
Any day. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay.
As long as I'm available, obviously. But you just let me know. We'll just message me and yeah, I'll do it with one of you guys and shit. We'll do a live stream one. It'd be cool.
That would be cool.
It'll be pretty fast too, because it's just like 5 questions or less. Maybe it would be less than 20 minutes, the whole thing, Just the only reason it would be live stream is because, how else are you going to do it? You're going to come to my fucking house,
Yeah, we'll be in New Jersey next Thursday, so...
Exactly.
And now you mentioned that it's on late night on Toonami as well, so
yeah,
how well does that follow the books? Is it pretty, is it pretty decent, or are they several how many seasons do they have?
Well, I've read a couple of the beginnings. When I started collecting, I collected a couple of the beginning ones. I think I have about the first 5 or first 10. And from what I hear, I didn't really read all of them. I started reading it later on. Again, I picked it up again. But from what one of my subscribers tells me, it's different. The animation is a little censored, as everything is when it's animated from a book. That happens probably with this thing with The Walking Dead as well too. It's probably a little crazier in the chapters.
Oh, it is. Yeah. There's like 6 scenes.
So it's not actually an animated series. They actually, what do? They just take and have somebody read the book to you, and then just.
What do you mean, the animated series? If you're trying to see if it's a adaptation.
No, I was just asking, do they actually have an animated series that is a translation from what happened in the books, or is it something?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's the main story is there, but sometimes some of the things are different.
They're censored out because of the...
Right. There's some scenes that might be like, maybe if the guy fucking cuts his leg off, maybe that might not show. Maybe they'll show in a different way and stuff like that. So that's
just like a movie. You get parts in there like a book or something.
Yes.
Like World War Z, where you get like this, the audiobook's way different. It's like after all that shit happens, and then all of a sudden during the movie, it's like...
I haven't seen it yet. I want to see that movie.
Well, we could translate into that. That could be our next thing. Was the 2 big movies this week: World War Z and Monsters U.
Yeah, I was trying to get to both of them myself. I did the Monsters University, but
I haven't
seen World War Z.
Yeah, what's up with World War Z, Tim? Since you saw it, I saw Monsters University also.
Well, me and Tom were doing the audiobook, but the audiobook's pretty much like this guy that's going around to different places, and it's really confusing because. The audiobook, he'll go to like fucking.
I heard
Greenland.
The movie pretty much is completely straight from the book anyway. So did you actually see the movie as well though?
Yeah. I saw both.
Cool.
So the audiobook goes into like this person like interviewing people, and like it's kind of confusing because he's interviewing people in Greenland, but he's talking about like.
Don't spoil it for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's confusing if you read it might not be confusing, but he's like interviewing people after the fact, and he's interviewing someone in a different country, but it's for something that happened in another country. So you have to be just kind of careful about that. But the movie was pretty much just him saving the world, and it seems like he goes somewhere and he's like gets another clue, and then the shit hits the fan and he has to go somewhere else, and it's just kind of like. It's really cool, but it's almost just like a kind of an action-packed prequel with some flash, but doesn't really go into like any. It's not related at all to like the book.
But if you're not comparing it to the book, just as a standalone movie, what is your opinion on it? Because it
was really good.
The general consensus I got from the reviews was that it was the best zombie movie since George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. They said that some scenes have that tight corridor-like feel where they're in a small area and the zombies are there. There's a high tension, but there's also that big. There's also that big global. The 28 Days Later thing where the zombies are really fast. Supposedly they turn very quickly too, and then supposedly you get that big global feeling as well. Because there's all these going to these different parts of the world and seeing these whole cities in ruin, and you know what I mean. So at least that's what I had gathered and heard and read and everything like that. So I'm actually probably gonna go see that tomorrow.
Well,
if I can.
No, I'm not gonna spoil anything. Tom's on the room, and I really want to go see it again in 3D. But it was to the point to where it was, as long as you're not like very particular to how you view zombies, because some people might say I don't like this movie because it's not like the book, people might say it doesn't fit the logic that even, Max Brooks has written in his multiple books. If you take it with a grain of salt, if like 28 days later to where like, shit bites and then like 10 seconds later this thing's fucking freaking out and running after you, like, you'll really enjoy it. The fact that, if you just are really strict and very opinionated and kind of narrow-minded, so to speak, with how you view a zombie, like, how zombie logic, how zombie is depicted and what it constitutes as a zombie and all that stuff, that'll really show your point of view. There's, in the previews it shows that they're stacking over this wall and they're not supposed to use teamwork and they're not supposed to run and all this stuff. Who cares? Like, enjoy it. It's a really fun movie, and it's kind of interesting to see different, regions of the world too, and how, they've reacted and how their plans are and all that shit.
Well, I can see myself in the back of your screen, dude. Talk again. You say something. The dude that was just talking. You look at me in the back of your screen, in the corner.
In the back of the screen?
Well, he could see you. He could see you on your mirror.
Oh yeah. I got a dual screen and I have it mirrored, so like I got my comment screen. I got the big screen over here, and then I got fucking Mr. Kramer looking over me each episode.
And the funny part is, and that's where I'm at too, is that I don't care about the logic behind, how things work with zombies and how this is supposed to be, man. I just care about being entertained, I used to, because I was a big comic book fan and I read a lot of books as well. When there would be movie translations of it, I'd get all pissed off if it wasn't a faithful adaptation, I liked Star Wars and people were crying about, oh, and they did this and they changed that, All I really care about at this point now is if it's entertaining and it's fun, and that's the thing. If I go there and I feel like I wasted my $10 or whatever, or if I went and I had a good time and enjoyed myself for a couple hours. So it sounds pretty positive from everybody I've talked to. So and you definitely recommend it, Tim?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know how the 3D is. I like 3D movies. I'm gonna probably see it in 3D with my buddies again.
I hate 3D movies.
Yeah, I fucking hate 3D movies too.
See, that's why I put it out there, because I know everyone fucking hates 3D movies.
I pretty much see everything in 3D now. So
like that.
It's the dumbest shit. For some reason, it's stupid. It gives me a fucking migraine every time I go. I don't get it, man.
See, you know what, though? I was reading about that, too, and they said that I think it's something like 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 people do. They get the motion, and because basically what it does is in one lens, it takes an image that's, it takes an image and it overlays it in front of you and then one far behind, so your eyes, when it put it together, it tricks your brain to thinking the image is somewhere in between, And for some people it does. It causes real bad headaches. A friend of mine kind of gets queasy, you know what I mean, when he goes to see him. So
I get a little like that too, though. I can't do it. I don't like that shit.
Yeah, so if it's something that bothers you, it's always going to bother you,
It's like I go, I feel like I'm getting mugged or some shit. I'm like,
yeah, that's not good. You don't want to have to pay for that shit. So.
I'm watching the movie and shit, and I'm like, and something will pop on, I'll be like, hey!
We originally started going to see him just because I think we went and we just took a chance on one like maybe it was Spider-Man or one of those. I think it was the Avengers last year, and the kids wanted to go see it in 3D, and we nobody in my family seems to get queasy or that sickness or whatever. So now we go and see a lot of the big blockbusters, just because the kids will ask about it. So
there's a difference. There's a different type of 3D that I can tolerate, and I actually enjoyed. The one for like Avatar, that was fucking good. That was good. Avatar?
I loved it. I actually hate Avatar in 2D because the story isn't that good, but the 3D effects were really good.
I can honestly say that was a beautiful movie. Then it's I very rarely say, well, I do say beautiful a lot. What am I talking about? It was a very good movie. Definitely, Avatar was good. It was up there. But the movies where the fucking 3D is stretching out to you, I don't want. That shit gives me a headache.
That's the gimmicky stuff, you know what I mean? Yep. And that's where it's more active, and it's just basically trying to make it look like there's an arrow, a spear, a bullet, something coming at you. But the ones that are more passive, like Avatar, where it just kind of gives a little bit of depth, it really adds to a background and just to the whole ambiance of the movie,
Dude, I want to know what the fuck you have here written. Paula Deen saying the N word, which she said nigga. I want to know what the fuck.
That's Sean's?
No, yeah, that was one of mine. Yeah, Paula Deen, I think this was years ago, and she's losing. She just lost her show on the Cooking Network for that.
Food Network.
Food Network. She's losing a lot of endorsements. It was supposedly there's a lawsuit with her and her brother where they use the N-word against racistly, and I believe it was years ago.
Racistly.
I mean, I didn't. Really
I know the whole story of it. So whatever you're.
Nah, she said the N-word non-racistly.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean she said it when she was younger, right? She was racist. So what?
Well, here's the thing. First of all, she's a big fat gal from the South, okay? And let's face it, if there's racism alive anywhere, it's probably going to be in the South, in some of the southern states, man.
I thought you were gonna say if there's racism around, it's probably gonna be in a big fat South woman from the South.
Well, I guess you could say that too, but my wife actually she really enjoys Paula Deen and some of the different cooking shows and everything. So I remember about a year ago reading about this, and apparently some restaurant that her brother manages for that she owns, I guess an employee that got fired from there. She was a hostess or something like that. I guess the brother-in-law is a real pig, man. He hits on all the women. I guess he sits in the back office and jerks off and watches porn and stuff like that, and all this other type of stuff. And but then how
do I get that job?
But then I've already applied 3 times, man. I haven't got a call back yet. But I guess at some point right around then, Paula Deen said something about an employee or a former employee, and she went and she dropped that, and it's been hurting her for it. But
wait, because a person was late because one of her workers was jerking off and whatever. Was he really jerking off? Or
was it? No, her brother-in-law manages a restaurant for her, and apparently this all started because a hostess that had been fired, or an assistant manager, someone that worked at that restaurant with her brother-in-law. Her brother-in-law, I guess, is just a real, like slapping all the girls on their asses and hitting on them. And I guess the guy goes and locks himself in the manager's office and watches porn, and they can hear it through the door and stuff like that,
She was racist because call someone nigger because they lazy. I don't really get it. If anything, black people worked a lot when they were slaves. No.
Yeah. Well, I think. Yeah, and I don't. And like I said, I think it's it's just like
Somebody wrote here. Paula Deen wanted a plantation-style wedding for her brother when she said it would be awesome.
She's just ridiculous. I mean, she cooks and got diabetes and then freaking still acts like this. What the hell's wrong with this woman?
Well, she was racist. She might still be a little racist. To be honest with you, I think everyone's a little racist.
Everyone is judgmental.
Everyone has a little bit of it, in some form. Maybe some have it in an extreme way where they're going around fucking calling people nigger. And another one is where you don't say it. You might say it in your head or some shit like that. Whatever.
And the other thing, too, is that now we live in a society, we talked about this on a few different shows, where people are just so ultra-sensitive, man, and everybody's just looking for something to bitch and complain about. You know what I mean? And I don't care if it's with something like that or if it's with somebody saying, retard, and that bothers people who are retarded, And
I say that word every day and every fucking
and you can't say gay because homosexuals have the corner on that one now. Man, listen, since I've been a kid and before I even knew about what that was or anything else, you would just hear that as a word to say when something bothered you, or something was stupid.
Lame.
You say that was gay, But now because they went and trademarked the word, man, we can't use it anymore. I think people just need to lighten up a little bit and realize that, and especially these celebrities and everything like that. Mel Gibson, right? Wasn't it a few years ago? Everybody, he's a Jew hater because he was drunk and he had a big spouting tirade. I think it's like One Piece is, man. Everybody at one point or another can be a little bit insensitive or maybe even a little bit racist in a remark that they say, and it's probably because of the situation they're in. It doesn't mean that you hate the entire African people, because you went and you said that. It might have been that particular person or that day or whatever, and I'm not defending what she said. I'm just saying that, I think sometimes the media likes to blow these things out of proportion just because it's something to talk about, So it's something to beat into the ground, So, but it is hurting her from what I heard, you know what I mean? She's done that.
Well, dude, look at Mel Gibson, man. He's on a Netflix original movie now.
But that's old. Isn't that old? Isn't that who she used to be? It's not like she's not like that.
What she talked about is how you know, I grew up in the South, and that's how we were. You know, we were all racist that time ago. Maybe I don't feel that way now. And I mean, you know, the lady's like 1,050 years old. So I mean, you got to understand that, you know, that's the way it was back. You know, what did she grow up in the 50s and the 60s?
Yeah, no, it was like that for her.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was like that. I mean, you know, everybody now is open-minded. You know, I mean, see, my part is I'm not racist. I hate everybody equally, and that's just the way it is. So.
All right.
Oh shit, you're right. That thing with her, I don't know. Maybe the whole reason. The problem is the Food Network is protecting themselves. Obviously,
they have to
protect themselves. And yeah, I mean, they do what they gotta do, and it's feel bad for her because maybe that's who she was. Maybe she's not like that anymore. You know, we don't know. We fucking know. And if she is like that, then maybe she deserves what she got. I mean, I don't fucking know.
I think it boils down to just being an ultra-sensitive society that we live in now, and
at
people
the end
just
of the
looking
day,
for something to, you know, at the end of the day, man, it's just, you know, you got to take some of these things with a grain of salt, you know.
She didn't apologize via Twitter. That's why she fucked up. They didn't have Twitter back then to apologize to everyone.
Well, she has a bad PR. She had bad PR, and that was the thing. They didn't jump on and take care of it quick enough. So that's one of the things that makes her look bad. But you know what? What does it matter? Seriously, she's a rich old lady. And if she doesn't ever make another dime, she's gonna die fucking rich. Seriously.
She's still gonna die.
The real question
she's still
is,
gonna deep fry everything and use butter. You know.
The real question is, guys, would you? Would you
what?
Would you fuck her?
No.
Would you?
Oh, Deen?
No.
Yeah.
no, she's racist. I'm not fucking that.
Yeah, why not? Just to say I did it. Yeah, why not?
Fuck those hot buns.
Absolutely not.
She makes some damn good food, so.
I mean, I go to her house for dinner, yeah.
As long as she feed me afterwards, so. Of course, I have low standards. Did anybody else see anything else over the weekend? We went to the family to see Monsters University, which I thought was good. You know, I thought they did a nice job.
I haven't seen it. I want to see it though for myself. I have a daughter, but I want to see it for myself because I like Monsters Inc. That was pretty cool.
It was a cool, and you know what, Pixar, you know, they've been scraping the bottom of the barrel, I think, the last few years with some of the sequels. I mean, this stuff is still quality, but it's just not quite as just magical, I guess, as it used to be. You know?
Like you're talking about, it's not like fucking Toy Story. Toy Story is some good shit.
Yeah, I mean, because when Toy Story came out, it was just, man, and even just some of the original ideas. I mean, when Monsters Incorporated came out, it was such an original idea. You know what I mean? It was, but now they're getting on a sequel bandwagon with everything, and this was cool because it was a prequel, but I think it was done real cool because it was done like one of those Animal House old school type of movies, you know, where it was just the college party type feel, but it was all with all the characters that you know from Monsters Incorporated, and you kind of got to see how some of the relationships came to be in there. And
also, that's what they're doing. They're doing like an Animal House theme.
Yeah. It's exactly what it was like. You know what I mean? As far as just a crazy, crazy party, and you know,
the guitar.
Yeah, and it was that's what it was like with animated, you know, but a Disney Pixar animated type deal, you know what I mean, without all the without all the craziness as far as the drinking and stuff like that. But it was cool, man. I liked it. So we went and saw it with the whole family, and it was definitely, it's probably one of my favorite animated films this year. And because of having, you know, kids, we go to see all of them. So, and One Piece, you mentioned you have a daughter. How old is your daughter?
She's 3.
She's 3. Yeah, that's a cool age, man. That's
the only one with no kids.
Oh, you are, Tim? Yeah.
Hey, Tim, you can have mine.
That you know of.
Take advantage of your
that I know of, right?
Take advantage of your time, buddy.
You can have mine, Tim.
I don't think I've used a condom in 5 years, and it's working pretty well.
You haven't?
You should open your mouth now, you dumbass.
Pull out, King!
Well, you said you haven't?
I have not. I think it's been 6 years, I think, since I used a condom.
Wait, you need to go and check a doctor, sir.
You gotta make sure that your gun's not misfiring, son.
That's not all well.
I got 2 dozen forms of HPV. I'm going for all 100.
You don't want to be shooting blanks over there, so.
Someone has.
You know, someone asked in the comments which actress you think has the nicest ass.
Elba.
Ooh.
Well, it depends, like, from what year. So you gotta grab like someone from a certain year movie.
Why does it matter?
Oh, I guess it does. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jessica Alba in Idle Hands. That was an awesome scene when he's grabbing ass on that scene.
I'm trying to think right now. I don't know. Do the actresses do porn stars?
Hey,
I don't know if porn stars count, but
why not? They're still actresses, kind of.
Yeah, I suppose though that.
Asterisks.
Anyone who has sex with Ron Jeremy and you know acts like he's sexy, they're fucking acting. I'm sorry.
If we're going porn stars, man, I'll take Lisa Ann on her ass, man. I'll go with her if porn stars are allowed. So Lisa Ann, yeah, she's a MILF. She's probably 40, if not older, but she's nice looking, man. So she's nice looking. How about you, One Piece? What do you think?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to think, man. I can't really pick one. It's hard.
It is difficult. There's so much out there.
Well, that's why it's hard. You're supposed to pick from what makes it hard.
Pinky.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all not on that good shit, huh?
Pinky in the brain?
Yeah, Pinky give the brain.
What about you, Shank?
I'm drawing a blank with her. What is it, Mila Kunis? The one
Mila
that's
Kunis?
dating. What's his name right now? Oh, we just lost One Piece.
I think he's fapping.
The one that's dating Ashton Kutcher right now. The one that was in that.
Mila Kunis or
Yeah.
Mila Kunis.
I just think she's hot, man. Regardless,
She is.
everywhere.
No, she's sexy. She's pretty scrawny though, so I don't know about.
I don't give a shit. If
I don't
she's
know what her
scrawny.
ass looks like. You know.
I would
not really.
fucking tear that shit up, man.
She's definitely a cute one over there. So, and then Tim, you say Jessica Alba, huh?
Jessica Alba was also another good one, man. I mean, even look at her after fucking. She had the baby, man. She had the fucking bathing suit on, and she's still fucking tight.
Yeah, she definitely is. She's real nice looking. So, I remember seeing something with her years ago where she was upset because I don't know, she got put in a role where she was basically just half naked in the movie, and she was like, and I really want to just have something where my my acting. So I wish somebody would take me seriously as an actress, and and then they wound up putting her in the movie Sin City. That I don't know if you guys saw that about 5, 6 years ago.
There he is.
That's pretty good.
She was good in that. So
I don't know what the fuck just happened.
yeah, I was gonna say. I was like,
It's gonna happen once an episode. Somebody either doesn't get on or they
I was gonna say, would I offend him? What the hell?
Well, I bet you anything that all the people that are watching, everyone is typing right now. Pinky porn.
Everybody's looking up, watching videos. Oh man.
Pinky and the brain.
And you're still on the Pinky and the Brain cartoon, huh?
Well, let's go to this fun topic. If you could make a Hallmark holiday, which one would it be? Because I know Sean loves that fucking shit.
Fuck Hallmark holidays. Hallmark holidays can lick my balls, man. Fuck it.
I don't know if I want to make one. There's so many of them out there now, man. You got the National Donut Day and Secretary Day and all these other, other.
All right,
I don't know if there's room for anything.
His mic's going out.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Yeah, you just got muted there, One Piece.
All right, can you hear me?
There you go.
There we go.
Now
Yeah.
you're good.
All right, if I could do one, I would do What's going on with my fucking microphone? I would do National Be Your Husband's Slave Night.
That's racist.
I could go with that one. That's sexist, but I'll go with that one.
How about National Pleasure Your Husband Night? So it's not so
There you go.
racist.
Nah, because pleasure, that happens all the time in my house.
Man, then I need to move where you're living. I'm moving to Jersey. I was married for 9 years. It was National Pleasure Myself Day.
And it was a shame too, and I think worth mentioning. You guys heard James Gandolfini died Thursday night. That's a shame too, man. That guy was it was a good actor. He was a really good actor. I mean, probably best known for The Sopranos, but
Right.
I liked him back in the movie True Romance, which was a great film.
I enjoyed him in The Sopranos, but I mean anything he did, Castle. He did what I think there was that movie Castle. I just didn't get into anything. I think he's one of those guys that will always be pigeonholed into being known as Tony Soprano. He got that role that was like the role of a lifetime for him, and I mean that was really it. I mean it's sad that he died, but you know what? He's a big Italian guy who eats fucking fried food all the time and drinks fucking wine. What the fuck do you expect to live? Those kind of people don't fucking live forever.
They don't last long.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Look at me, man. I drink beer all the time. How long you think I'm going to live to be 90? Seriously.
We're just hoping we can get you in for about 30, 40 more episodes, and then we'll be good to go.
You guys are lucky if I make 20.
National Shawshank Day.
That would be it. Fucking should be National Shawshank Day. No, seriously, I would never want a Hallmark holiday named after me. I fucking hate Hallmark holidays. You guys.
I like the wife slave day though. Whatever that was pretty.
They have
cool,
to sign
man.
like a slave contract, like those creeps that steal people.
And especially, I mean, if it's only for a day too, you know, it's hey, if that's how you can pitch it. Hey, listen, it's just, you know, I mean, it's just a holiday, and it's just for the day, honey, you know. So.
Well, then guess what? Then fucking lube will sell like fucking hotcakes that day because there's gonna be some fucking backdoor entry if that's gonna be a fucking legal holiday.
Unauthorized.
Yeah, that's a first.
It's not. If that's what the bitch has to do, guess what, man?
Don't say no day.
There's only so many times you could stick it in the two other holes that it's got to eventually hit the third, right?
You're talking about the left or the right ear?
Terrible.
I don't. Hey, if you whatever ear you prefer, it matters.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
All right, this right here, this is Pinky right there. See her?
He's getting old.
Is that Nicki Minaj?
No, that's Pinky.
Yeah, as I said, I've seen her before, man. She got a nice ass.
What you saying?
What's that? No, she does.
He was like looking all in his like fucking mind. Oh man. So
hey, you guys, I got a couple questions. I mean, this may not apply to you, One Piece, but you guys see any of Surf's videos this week?
I watched
saw
the Surf
Shitty
White.
Waffles one.
What'd you think of that?
Shitty Waffles? I like the song.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Is that one
I
of
like
his?
when he goes into the pissy cornflakes or something like that. He's like,
Yeah, the shitty waffles was cool, but it's the fact that when my kids, I watch that with my kids, and they're 13 and 10, and they're like, "Oh, Dad, I like the song. Play it again." And it's like a shitty waffle song is not really what I want my kids to go back home to mom and her husband and start singing about shitty waffles.
what does he say before he changes the tone? He's like, piss on the pissy cornflakes or something. Piss on the
something like that.
I don't know.
I was with him when he recorded the last one. He didn't have one this week because they had a lot going on with the studio and everything. But I was with him last week when he was recording it, and he was, it's fucking hilarious to watch him go on for like 10, 15 minutes of just random shit. Like what did we talk about last week? God, why am I drawing a blank? Explosive diarrhea, and what the fuck else did we talk about, man?
You talked about like friends that.
No, the song thing is a good idea. The random song thing is pretty good idea. I think I like that.
Dude, I was at work and I fucking had it on my computer and I put it on and I had it loud and he goes, mic check, and people like around the cubicle were looking. I'm just like, fuck, dude, I didn't know it was gonna be like that.
Yeah, I was with him when he was doing the fucking mic check, and I'm like, dude, you should leave it in. It's fucking pretty awesome. He's like, yeah, I just decided to leave it in. And,
I just love how the hair salon bitches got all mad, right?
He's a weird guy. This guy, Surf. Surf.
By the way, I don't know if we mentioned it, but Surf's a little under the weather. That's why he's not here tonight. But
yeah, I know he wrote it in the comment section.
Oh, okay. But
you gotta remember
hats off to Surf and Durf.
Yeah, Surf's not here due to being under the weather. So but he had Surf's been kind of out of the loop with a lot going on with studio stuff. So he hasn't really put on a whole lot of videos. I know me and him do a weekly series. We'll do that hopefully Thursday if he's feeling better. Hopefully he'll get a couple things up this week, and maybe he can get on with you, and you can, because I know he doesn't know a whole lot about.
Yeah, I would probably. Yeah, it'd probably be cool if he comes on too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome for both of you guys. I mean, it's you've brought a lot to the today. I learned a lot. I've never, like I said, I don't watch a whole lot of anime, but I'm very open-minded and always willing to try something new.
There's hentai too. That's anime porn.
That's what she said.
I knew you were gonna. I was gonna use that, but hey, let someone else take it today.
I'm willing to try something new. But yeah, definitely, that would be cool.
I miss his like rants. I miss the rants, man.
Rants.
I like
gives me time to go pee.
I do like what you guys are doing here with this live stream. The episodes, the way you do it. I think I like this. Every week you have something different. Last week you had like that comment, like that
cosplay girl.
Cosplay girl. Tell you that's probably how I notice you guys. Tell you the truth.
You just see this girl like different color hair, just talking.
Yeah, it's like pink hair, right? Something like that.
No, it was cool. It was cool. We try to get a guest on, someone that brings something different. I mean, you're something that brings something else.
She didn't talk a lot though. The girl.
She talks, you know, it varies. You know, a lot of people, you know, like you have a channel, so you're used to talking. You know, she's not. So that's the little difference. Oh, you know, all of us here, we've been doing this. This is number 11, and you know, we're used to just rambling on about bullshit. And you do your channel, and you do, like you said, you have your updates every day, so you're used to talking, so you're a lot more comfortable.
Well, yeah, about every day I try to, you know, I haven't had a lot of time because of work, and you know, I have a child. But I'm gonna get this shit rolling, man. I'm gonna start going in because when I do, I do like 3 videos a day. I really need to do it. I need to start doing a lot. The last week I've been doing a lot of videos. Today I did about 3, I think. Last night I did like 2, I think. You just gotta come up with ideas.
You just gotta, you know, this is a community, and you just need to have people like intertwine. You know, whether it be you have, you know, 50 guys subscribed, you have 5,000, 50,000. You know, maybe someone likes some shit, like they like our gaming stuff. Yeah. All of a sudden they're like, fuck man, I like this manga shit, and then you know, they start following you, vice versa, all that stuff.
Exactly. The anime community is like, I love the anime community. They're like some of the best people ever, man.
And it's pretty similar because I mean, if you're, you know, in anime, then you're probably into technology shit. You're probably into games. The mic went out again.
That's why I don't know why the fuck is doing that. You guys are into a lot of the gaming shit too.
Yeah, not like the RPG like gaming, but shooters and shit like that.
No, it's good. Yeah, it's just
fuck you, Google Plus.
Yeah, Google Plus. I mean, we try to vary. You know, we try to appeal to a lot of people, and I mean, by having you on, it's a whole nother you know, vast amount of people that, you know, we don't touch on a daily basis. So to have you on. Brings a new aspect.
But we want to touch. We want to touch them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you're talking about chicks with big tits, I want to touch them all. Fuck yeah! I don't care if they're cartoons. a lot less likely to tell me no, especially if I'm drawing a damn.
Someone had commented on the stream too when we were talking about all that stuff. Tits or ass? What about you guys? What do you guys prefer?
Oh man, you know, with me it's really rough, man. And I think with me it always matters on the female. And you know, like I've always been a boob guy, like my ex-wife. What really attracted me to her were her boobs. Oh, I'm sorry, why am I talking? What the fuck? Why am I using boobs? I mean, that's not me. With her tits. But with my ex-girlfriend, it was you know, she had a good set of tits on her, but it was really her ass is what I like really loved is fucking.
So for you, it depends on the girl.
To me, it's an individual thing. You know, like I said, my ex-girlfriend, I mean, my ex-wife and my ex-girlfriend, they had, you know, nice both, but it was just different attraction to different pieces, I guess, every time.
Yeah, and I mean, I can agree with that. I can understand because I was always a tit guy, and you know, but I've there's certainly some asses I can appreciate too.
What do you guys think? You saw the picture I showed you, right?
Yeah, I saw the picture show. What's I was gonna say I could gather you're an ass man, but you know, I still wanted to ask the question. So. That thing was nice, man. You can sleep on that thing.
Where are the? Yeah, it's good. A lot more than sleep. Let's see. Someone's calling you Shanks, and the reason why they're calling Shawshanks Shanks is because Shanks is one of the major characters in One Piece.
That's cool.
So they're calling you Shanks. You're like, I don't give a fuck.
No, it's cool. It's cool. No, it's cool. No, you know, like I said, man,
it's a cool coincidence.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's a cool. I mean, I didn't do it based off any of that stuff. Shawshank is not my real name. I'm not gonna lie and say it is. It goes off of a lot of. I'm a big fan of wordplay. My license plate is Redemption.
So did yours come from the movie then, the Shawshank Redemption?
Basically, that's where the whole thing came from.
Okay. That's what I always think of whenever you put that on.
No, it is, and it came from the movie, and it's just a wordplay off it, you know. You know, when I got divorced, basically, it was time for me to redeem myself for everything I felt I lost for the 9 years I was married, and that's why my license plates say Redemption. My car's red, so it wordplay is off of both of that, and then Shawshank kind of falls in. My first name is really Sean. I'm not going to lie; it's not spelt that way. It's just what I go by, you know.
Cool.
It's just, it is what it is.
But
I like it. I love it.
It kind of just flows from me.
Shanks is one of the main characters though in this One Piece. So you said, huh?
I mean, that's pretty cool.
Very important. He's an important character.
He's an important character and integral to the story. That's pretty cool though. That's a neat coincidence. Somebody had said too, and I didn't even hear about this. The girl that was cast for Mary Jane in the new Spider-Man films or something that they what happened? They dumped her. Does anybody have anything about that?
Her name's Shailene Woodley, and she was cast for the role of Mary Jane, and apparently.
Well, here he goes. Oh no.
My bad.
Yep.
It just said we'll be right back. Are we live?
It should still. It still says. Is it letting me talk? You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
It's letting you talk, but on the feed it's saying we'll be right back.
Yeah,
so this is probably just a delay from when you dropped out. So
I clicked the wrong button. I'm sorry, guys. And the shitty part that's me about it's fucking stupid. I'm sitting here. I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? So let me know if this shit goes back when it goes back on, because it's still saying that it's live. It's still showing viewers.
I think there's like an 8-second, 10-second.
And it probably is, but there's like I said, there's a lapse, there's a delay. So the "will be back" is probably just for the 30 seconds that you were out or whatever. So
we back?
We are. We're back. We're live.
Okay. My bad, guys. I'm hosting today because, of course, Surf is sick. I accidentally clicked to close when I meant to click the wrong screen. So please forgive me because I'm a douchebag. But I'm fine with that. Like I was saying, it was Shailene Woodley was cast as Mary Jane. She even shot scenes which were going to lead to her being a big part in Spider-Man 3, The Amazing Spider-Man 3. And now they've cut all of her scenes and are not going. She's not even going to be in the movie. And they're talking about recasting for Spider-Man 3.
See, I didn't even know who they put in if they were going to introduce Mary Jane, because when you originally said that, I was thinking of Gwen Stacy, I guess, who they did in, who they put in the reboot, the Amazing Spider-Man, which came out last summer. So that's why I thought you were talking about at first, that they recast her, but I forgot that Mary Jane hadn't even been introduced yet at that point. So, and I don't even know who this Shailene Woodley is. That's well, I guess now she's not the she's not playing Mary Jane.
No, she will not. She will not be playing Mary Jane. She was on a series for 5 years that was on.
And they must have been pretty far into production with that too, because that's slated to come out next summer. So I mean, we're and there's usually about 4 months of post production over here. So you would think that they'll probably be wrapping that up in the next few months, to get everything. I would think by year's end at the latest. So, and you said they already shot a ton of scenes with her.
They shot some scenes, not a whole lot. They were going to kind of introduce her, and Gwen was going to, I think, get killed off, if I'm not mistaken, because that happens, I believe, in the comic book. If I'm not wrong, you guys got to quote me on that. I'm not a comic book guy, obviously. You probably already know that. But, yeah, they were going to kill her off, I believe, and then, Mary Jane was going to be introduced and play a major part in the next episode.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen any of the new Spider-Man.
You didn't see any of the newest movie?
No, after they got rid of the this fucking guy, the
Tobey Maguire?
puppet guy. Yeah, no, I haven't seen the other ones. I don't know why, I just haven't seen them. It seems like
just
the same fucking shit all over again. No?
It is. Every movie gets rebooted and rebooted
It's
and rebooted.
stupid. I don't want to watch the same.
And then like the new Spider-Man one, I didn't see that one.
You didn't see the Amazing
with
Spider-Man?
Andrew Garfield? It wasn't a bad movie. I mean, I wouldn't say it was the greatest movie. I mean, I watched it. I took the kids to see it. They liked it. I mean, that's the whole thing. Anything I can keep the kids quiet for an hour and a half without fucking punching each other, and fighting with each other, and fucking beating the shit out of each other, it's more power to me.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Xbox One, you guys like that?
Well, let's start from left to right.
I've pre-ordered an Xbox One and a PS4, so I mean, I don't have anything against it. I never really cared one way or the other. I think a lot of people blew a lot of things out of proportion, with the DRM and everybody talking about Microsoft being this evil company that's out to make money. Really, like Sony's not out there to make money too. Sony's just trying to put on a brave face because they fucked up this round with the PS3.
Well, Sony has to learn how to make money. Sony's like the company out there that don't make shit ever.
Yeah.
So
Sony
was hoping that they would make money, and now Xbox jumped on switched all their policies, and now Sony's probably like,
Listen, all Sony did was, first of all, all they did was from day one, they just been giving people what we've already come to expect anyway with the DRM and things like that. Microsoft went and tried to go and do something, and it wasn't underhanded or shady. It's just the way that things are going, unfortunately. Just the way of the world. And they had some good ideas there too with the different family sharing and stuff like that. And then they backpedaled because they saw it wasn't going to work out for them, and that there was a lot of people that were mad.
I don't think the fee thing for used games. I think that was their own thing. They were trying to look out for themselves there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That doesn't really help anybody.
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is that, see, I think Sony really tanked in this round of the systems over here. The PS3 has been outsold from day one. They had a botched launch. They didn't have great software titles for the first year or so. And they just they don't have a great network. A lot of people, if you can play a game online with other people on either system, most people choose the Xbox. It's just easier, and the interface is simpler and more streamlined as far as connecting and everything like that. So I think what happened is Sony got tired of riding the back of the bus, man. They haven't been making a lot of money, and I think they lost this generation's, war, if you will, on consoles. So I really think what they're trying to do now is they're trying to get back to the basics, man, and say, listen, we listened to all the mistakes that we made, and we're going to do all these things right, and that's all I think it is. Bottom line is both companies are huge corporations that are out to make money, man, So
the real question is, where the fuck's Nintendo?
Yeah.
No, man, Nintendo's sucking air with their fucking Wii U. I mean, and the funny part is throughout the E3. They announced all their big titles, and still nobody gave a shit. They're going to have a new Mario game out, a Luigi game out, and nobody gave a shit.
How many times can you change Mario?
And here's the thing.
Already. Like, what the fuck you doing?
The new Super Mario is pretty good, though.
And it is, but you can only rehash the same old ideas, like One Piece was saying so many times. The Wii was popular for a short period of time, and that was only because it was gimmicky, with the motion control and everything. Once everybody caught on to that and people got tired of it and everything, Nintendo, unfortunately, has not been a leader since, probably the days of the Super Nintendo. The N64 wasn't even cutting edge, because when that came out, they were still using cartridge-based games, and Sony had released the PlayStation 1. And they were... the Nintendo sold millions of units just off the name, but people didn't want to pay $74.99 for a cartridge when you could buy a disc and that would run on the PlayStation for $49.99. So realistically, I think that Nintendo has been out of the loop now for probably 15 years. They had a short-term success with the Wii, but I think they're going to wind up eventually being a Sega, where they're going to be relegated to just making software titles as opposed to hardware.
I agree.
I think the hardware's just not there anymore, man.
Or
not innovative.
Or they're like this. We're gonna fucking catch them by surprise. They're mad quiet right now, and they're fucking. Sometimes they get real animated. I don't know why. But they're probably laying low, and then next thing you know, they just gonna
virtual reality, man. Let's do virtual reality.
Get out of nowhere. They can be like, what? And Xbox and PS4 be like, hey, you know what? Where's Nintendo? Boom, boom. Nintendo's gonna come out. Nintendo 562.
562.
I don't know.
0.3.
Somebody wrote here. Yeah, 0.3 is like the second one. Someone wrote here in the comment section, rich bastard, pre-ordering both of them, and he's talking to you, and I agree with him because the lamp in back of you looks expensive.
What's funny is, man, I got that from when we started doing the show. I wanted to get something that was kind of a lower light or whatever. The thing looks like it's purple, but it's not. I picked it up for $14.99 at the at Lowe's.
And what the fuck is all those things on the? Oh, that's a poster on the top. Are those figures?
This is my little, I guess, office / studio. I got a drafting table back there. I've got some I've got some figures, some posters, things like that.
Damn, so, you got a whole bunch of them.
It's kind of funny because this room is actually it's probably smaller than a jail cell. I think it's probably only about like 5 by 8 or 6 by 8 or something like that. But it works all right, man. It's my little area in the basement. That I can kind of get away from the kids when I need to come and do some drawing or or do some work on the computer, and And as far as pre-ordering both of them, man, I didn't pay for them in full or anything like that. And a pre-order is just that; it's just a pre-order. I mean, I had to put $100 down, and I don't even know if I'm going to wind up getting both of them. I just wanted to hold my spot in line, so to speak. I'm going to wait until things shake out over the next couple of months, and then make my decision. Probably, it'll probably be right up to the last minute, depending on what I see that's coming, and and then I'll wind up just taking it and getting my money back for the $100 that I put on the other pre-orders. So.
I just haven't pre-ordered mine. I'm going Xbox One, but I mean, I've just been so turned off by games lately, and it's just I feel like every spring, like it's almost just like I'm not into it. Like, and then something inspires me, like come like August. So I think I'm just waiting for that inspiration, and I'm like looking at the titles. It's not the biggest deal if I have to wait. Titanfall looks like the shit, and it's coming out in spring.
Yeah, it doesn't come out until next year
I'm just going to stay with my Xbox 360. Wait till the fucking games are going to get way cheaper because the Xbox One games are making the Xbox 360 games cheaper because they're not going to make them anymore. And it's going to buy a shitload of games for 360 and chill with my 360 because I don't really give a fuck about the Xbox One like that. I don't play like that. Anyway.
So you're not a hardcore gamer. You're just kind of.
Oh, I don't have the time to be a hardcore gamer. Sometimes I work. Sometimes I have these weeks where I work and I only sleep like 4, 3, 5 hours maybe.
Jesus Christ, man!
Do you have a day job, or you just do like entrepreneurship?
I have a day job and then I work like extra shit on the side. I sell drugs. Nah, just kidding.
Hell yeah!
Who does it these days? How are you supposed to get by if you don't sell drugs?
I'm a
prescription drugs. Where's that?
I'm a drug dealer.
I traffic prostitutes from state to state.
Yeah. I used to do that too, but you know what? It's a lot of money spent on the gas.
Yeah, it is, but
gas is at an all-time high.
That's why I
traffic people.
That's why I steal cars. I mean, it's a lot easier.
Let's just be honest. These prostitutes are not grade A quality for the gas that they're spending.
No, they're like C, D quality. I mean, it's no big deal. They're about 30 pounds overweight. They got more chins than a Chinese phone book. Who cares? I mean, they're still, if someone's willing to pay somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I know someone did ask the question why I hate Boston, and I have covered this in the past, but I'll cover it now. I hate Boston due to the fact that I've been to Boston numerous times, probably 3 times. My ex-girlfriend moved there right before we broke up, and everybody in Boston is a fucking douchebag. They're the most ignorant assholes in the world. And I know you're over there, everything EOS on the East Coast and everything, but I haven't been anywhere but Boston. I've been there, and for one example, I went out there. It was my girlfriend's birthday. She had just moved out there in August. Her birthday was in October. And I went out there, we went to a club, and I went up to the bar to get a drink, and I'm standing behind a dude, just standing behind him, decent distance. I'm rubbing all up on him, rubbing my cock on him, and the motherfucker turns around and goes, oh, I did rub my cock on him, but I just didn't want to say that when we were talking. And the motherfucker turns around, he's like, "You trying to pickpocket me, motherfucker?" And I'm like, "What?" And I mean, he got in my face, I got in his face, and I mean, it was just like, it was about to go on, and I'm not the fucking fighting type, but this motherfucker is like accusing me of shit. I'm like, "Bitch, you want to go? We'll go." And he kind of backed down and shit. But it was like everywhere I went. I mean, I've been out there 3 different times, and everyone, it was fucking, besides her parents and her family, everybody else is a fucking douchebag. It was like, so that's what I have to say. Nothing better than the Blackhawks beating the Bruins, because the Bruins fucking suck. So Boston can lick my balls.
You were in the line. You were like in the line behind the guy, and the guy's like, "Hey, are you trying to fucking rape me?" Huh?
Exactly. Big deal. So
no means no, motherfucker.
Big deal that my zipper was down and my pants were at my ankles. Who cares? That doesn't mean anything. There was no penetration yet. So
someone wrote here, "I've been to Boston numerous times." This Surfed Up said it. Probably 3 times. Ha 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 ha.
So you got to remember, every comment from Surfed Up is coming from me.
Yeah, I realized that like halfway through the show. I was like, wait a second.
I just realized that right now.
Yeah.
I was like, Joe's just answering everything that I'm telling Sean.
Yeah, no, because I'm using his account, so I'm hosting. So everything.
So how did you write? You wrote that you were sick.
No, is that on here? He must have wrote that because I didn't write that.
You wrote that earlier. He said, "I'm sorry that I couldn't make it. I was sick."
Yeah, he's probably still logging in through his email or something like that. But yeah, one piece like you were saying too with the systems and everything. I think this will probably be the first time that I actually we'll wind up getting something the year it actually comes out. Usually I wait about a year or so until some good games come out, until the price drops a little bit, you know. But we've already got a couple of 360s in the house, and we're going to ride those things till, I mean, they're still going to be coming out with games, I think, for a couple of years. And like you said, it's going to, you know, price is going to be down on a lot of those things. A lot of those
It's
games,
still a good system.
yeah, I was going to say, there's still a lot of good quality stuff coming out there, a good community.
I'm going to kind of be depressed
play
because
online, you know.
people that don't have the new one, you can't play online. So that's like, you know, Jim, if like me and you get it this year, like we're like, oh shit, it's so awesome. You get on, it's like, oh fuck, no one on my friends list can play.
Well, that's why, I mean, even when I do get one though, you know, I get the new one. I mean, I'm still going to have my 360s in the house, and they'll still be hooked up, just, you know, because of all the games that are out for them. And I don't even think they're backwards compatible, are they?
No, they are not.
Yeah, so I mean, there's going to be no reason for me to get rid of the ones that we have. I mean, especially because like the ones in my kids' rooms they use for Netflix and stuff like that. So, you know, it's watching DVDs and everything. So,
definitely.
Anybody got another topic? Because all my shit when I accidentally signed off went away, so I have nothing. I
see that.
I have nothing in the group chat because all my stuff went bye bye.
Oh yeah, that's right. Everything's gone, huh?
Yeah. So you guys still got the stuff because you were still on.
Oh
You
yeah.
see? No, I'm writing too, dudes. And I was quoting Sean when he stated his Boston story, La Paula. So he is writing too.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of creepy.
Creepy motherfucker.
You don't know who's gonna do what in the what now.
Exactly. Now you gotta watch. You gotta watch your ass. Well, most of the time I'm not. Most of the time I'm not paying a whole lot of attention. Right now the group chat's empty, so I kind of been flip-flopping back and forth between the two. So.
I'm gonna have to sign out in a little bit though.
That's right. You're an hour ahead of us.
Yes, it's almost.
Well, we don't have to have a very long show. I mean, this is a pretty fruitful show already, and you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We went through a lot of topics too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We did. So I mean, seriously, we can end it there. I mean, you know, EOP, thank you for being here, and you know, if you want to hook up with Surf and let him come on, and you know, he's in this, I'm sure he'll be more than happy.
You like slow jazz?
Hook up with who? I'm married.
With Surf.
I'm married.
Keep it on the down low, man.
DL, keep it on the DL.
No, thank you. Yeah, we're signing out, right? I have everything in one piece here. You know me, EOP, aka EOP, given to me by my fans, of course. The name EOP, and yeah, I do anime and manga reviews and videos about that. And yeah, what else could I say? I don't fucking know. Go check it out if you want.
Check that shit, man. Subscribe.
Can we find you on Twitter as well, One Piece?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter too.
Are you on the Facebook?
When you see my videos, there's always links to Twitter and Facebook, and my website. I own a website too, which it's anime. It's One Piece Secret Cabinet. If you're not into anime or One Piece, if specifically, then you probably wouldn't like the website. But if you are, then it's a good website to be on.
I'll definitely tell my brother about it because he's in that shit still.
It's linked on all of my my videos, and then I put a lot of stuff up there that I talk about on my on my YouTube. And yeah, like if I have a theory, I'll put all the pictures there and all the fucking writing in there, and then I'll make a video about it, and people link people there, and they'll check out my video, and they'll go check out the website. Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Thanks for coming on, dude. It's actually a good show, and you know I love having these guest speakers because we get to see something cool. I'm not saying that I'm bored of you guys, but I'm bored of you guys.
It's always nice, man, to get somebody else at different point of view, or somebody that's into something a little bit different. You know, like I said, I'd say. And as far as the One Piece goes, man,
One Piece roll.
There we go.
All right.
Cool, man. You know. First episode without Joe, but I think it was pretty good. You think?
I do. You know, yeah. Let me do outros. That's episode 11. We do want to say thank you to One Piece, who was already pieced out. He contributed a lot. To my right, we have Tim Maloney, Yellow Bus. To my left,
Yellow Bus.
Third Nation. Of course, I am Sean Shank.
And a moment of silence for Joe.
Watch Surfed Up Entertainment this week for some some new content. He'll get back on track, and he's sorry he's not here this week. So that's about it, man. And by the way, I got one more thing. Fuck you, Boston. Peace.
Fuck you, Boston.